Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading for the week of February 13 through 19, 2024. This is a reading for you if you are Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Rising, or have some other significant Sag placement in your chart. If you're returning to this channel, welcome back. It's good to have you back again. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do hope that you find these readings to be enlightening, that it resonates with you. And if you do like this reading, please do hit the thumbs up. Let me know that you, every like does help keep this channel more visible. Also, you can leave me a comment if you choose. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you will know when these videos come out new every week, usually on Mondays. Like I said, I'm toying with the idea of changing that schedule up a little bit. But as of right now, that's the way that I do it. I do it on the Monday, which is why it's from the Tuesday to the following Monday is the way that these readings work. I have in the description box below, I have links to my my business website, my coaching website, which also involves doing astrology, human design, tarot, oracle, Reiki, and spiritual coaching and mentoring. So that is, the link to that is down in the description, as well as a link to my my PayPal donation link, and also links to my where my social media is on Instagram and Facebook. If you're not familiar with the way that I do these readings, I do a full horoscope spread where I'm looking at all 12 houses of astrology and I'm interpreting the cards in line with those houses. This is actually a fairly standard tarot spread called the horoscope spread. But this way I can get a full picture of everything that's going on in your life this week, and maybe not just one or two aspects, unless one or two aspects really are the ones that stand out. I use the cartouche deck. This is my main deck that I use, which is an Egyptian oracle deck, and I will clarify with tarot, and this week I am using the Mythic Tarot deck. I will follow up with a oracle card pull from the Moonology deck. Okay, so we'll start at the beginning here. I am just going to quickly note that because this is a general reading, not all aspects of every house are going to apply to you. The message there may, for example, third house has to do with with being self-employed. It also has to do with brother-sister relationships. It's probably not going to have to do with both. So you decide for you which one actually makes sense for you when I interpret things in light of those houses. So, okay. So with that little caveat, just take what resonates and leave the rest. This is the first house here is Aries energy. So this is you, your personality, how you present yourself to the world, how other people see you. Okay, so we have Pyramid with the Ten of Swords. Okay, so Pyramid shows up in the first house when we are our faith in ourself is being tested. There's a challenge that we're meeting somehow. We may be having self-doubt. Maybe we've been on a path and maybe we're thinking about, or there's been some aspect of our identity or who we are or where we're going that maybe we're not quite so sure about. But Pyramid does indicate that this may be this is a test of your faith in yourself and how much you believe in what you're doing. You have this with the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords indicates something that is definitely coming to an end. So I feel like there has been some aspect of you, some way that you've been, some way that you've presented yourself, something that you've identified with that is now done. It's finished, okay? Ten of Swords indicates, and if it hasn't finished, it's going to finish soon. I don't feel like this finish is going to be a bad thing. The image that we have on this card is of Goddess Athena holding her hand up against the Furies, and in front of Orestes, who is laying on the ground here in a heap. And what the meaning of that is Orestes has been pursued by the Furies. They at least in that particular narrative, they are representations of guilt. Because in that myth, Orestes, had to kill his mother to avenge his father. He was really in a bad position there. And so the Furies pursued him relentlessly until a trial was held, and it was the split jury, and Athena cast the deciding vote that said, no, the Furies need to stop pursuing Orestes. He was absolved of whatever guilt that he had there. So point being here is that this is representation of something that is the ending of it is a relief. There's been something that has been plaguing you, making you anxious, making you doubt yourself. Maybe something that's just been a frustration to you. Whatever it is, it's coming to an end. So this is actually a very good card here. It suggests that there's just something, this is it. We're done. And this, and so, and I feel like it's going to be the end of this kind of self-doubt. Like you're coming out of this period of feeling like you need to second guess yourself. Second house, we have Taurus energy. Taurus has to do with finances, personal finance, your possessions, what you value. Now you have Scarab with the Seven of Cups. Okay, so a couple possibilities here. Scarab Scarab certainly indicates new beginnings. For some people, this will be a new job. This will be a new income stream. It can also have to do with endings, so it's also possible that, again, we're seeing this ending here in the first house with the Ten of Swords. It's possible that there is some kind of a big change with your finances, something this is bringing a new beginning. Scarab is fundamentally about new starts. Now with the Seven of Cups indicates there's like an illusory nature to this, okay? So the more immediate literal possibility here could be that somebody's making money through an online venture, okay? Because Seven of Cups has come to mean in the online world, something that is done, in the ether, right? In the Ethernet. So there's this idea that this is you could be having a new income stream that is online. That could be one very, very simple explanation of this. But Seven of Cups also has to do with trying to distinguish what's real from what's not real. And I also feel like the Seven of Cups has to do with something that maybe we don't quite believe or we think is illusory. So maybe there are big changes that are coming, but maybe you're not really seeing it yet. Maybe you're thinking, maybe I'm delusional about this. Maybe this isn't going to happen. But the fact that I'm seeing this very strong sense of change suggests to me that something is going to happen, but exactly what and how maybe is not going to be clear yet. Because Seven of Cups, when it's not referring to something in the online world, represents a lack of clarity about something. Like there's something that's cloudy, or there's too many possibilities. Like maybe there's a change that's being made or that you need to make, but you're saying, I don't really know what direction to go right now. So let's look at the rest of the reading and see what's going to develop as far as that particular aspect is concerned. What you will find too, if you're new to these readings, that as I go through it, I start to be able to make connections between the houses. So let's just see what else we get there. Third house is Mercury, Gemini energy. So this is about messages coming in, communications. If you're in your own business, this is the house of self-employment. It's about, again, I think I mentioned at the beginning, sibling relationships, brother-sister relationships. Also about things like technology, short-term travel, stuff associated with Mercury. It's the kind of thought that is more practical rather than, say, deeply intellectual or deeply spiritual, which is what we see in the ninth house. But here, so this is just more about practical messages and communication and business. Okay, so we have Four of Pentacles with the Crook and Flail. Now, Crook and Flail can indicate, I feel like I hear the word discipline in my head. So I feel like there's like a need for self-discipline in something. Four of Pentacles indicates seeking stability, okay? So for those of you who are in business, maybe you are at a point, like maybe you're thinking of switching something to online, or maybe you're trying to look at the possibilities for how to expand your finances here, because Four of Pentacles would suggest kind of trying to keep things as they are, like trying to keep things status quo. So if this does have to do with business, it could be that right now maybe things have been a little slow. Maybe you're just trying to achieve a point of stability, at least breaking even in a certain sense. But with Crook and Flail, there's a need to raise yourself up. There's a need to be seen. This is the idea of a raise in status, or being looked up to, being looked at as an authority, or just having a good reputation and being seen for that. So this is definitely telling you to be confident, and it is also telling you that disciplined action is something that's useful here. Now, if you're not in your own business, this may pertain to messages. Sometimes Crook and Flail has to do with legal matters, so that may apply for some people, but it doesn't have to. This could also be just calling, messages from somebody who is an expert, or maybe somebody calling on your expertise for something. Can go either way, but either way, there's a sense of increased visibility here. And with the Four of Pentacles, I feel like there's, I feel like there's just kind of, I feel like there's maybe there's a kind of a level of ambition that we're seeing here. And I think it's going to involve needing to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, because Four of Pentacles is about, knowing that there needs to be kind of a step up or a move up, but Four of Pentacles is about kind of staying where you are. So I feel like there might be some decisions on that front made, regardless of what it has to do with, whether it's within brother-sister relationships, whether it has to do with business, which seems like the most obvious application here, or whether it just has to do with messages you've been receiving about money or about some other kind of thing lately. There definitely seems to be this need to step up and move ahead on something, which means that you may have to let go of something, or you spend money to make money, that kind of idea. So take that as it resonates. Fourth house is Cancer energy. Cancer is about the home, the family, your home environment, your sense of security, and also potentially the mother. Okay, so we have Lotus with Three of Cups. So Three of Cups is a very social card. It can indicate, you have the idea of three. So this is not just two people, this is three people. So a third party situation, or it could be a celebration, like a party. Maybe you're going to, be doing something at home. Maybe you're going to be socializing and having an event at your house. That's possible. It can also indicate somebody kind of coming back around. Three of Cups rather can have to do with reconciliations. So that is a possible thing here for you. Now the other possibility being it's in the family house is that this could be an event that is connected to family. Okay, so maybe there's something that you're going to be attending, or maybe you're going to be setting something up that is a family gathering. But this feels to me like a family gathering of some kind, or reconciliation with somebody in family. And you have this with Lotus. Now Lotus is interesting because this is a card that has to do with calming the mind. So I get the sense that there's been some anxiety as of late. Now, maybe this is anxiety connected to a family situation. Maybe it's connected to the actual reconciliation. But there's definitely a need here to sort of, calm down, stay grounded, stay centered, not let, I wouldn't even say emotions, not let our minds run away with things. You've got this Ten of Swords in the first house. So I feel like there may have been an over application of mental energy to something that's making you, making you very anxious about certain situations, or what you may be projecting is going to happen in a particular situation. So, yeah, so I don't know. Definitely a sense here. I feel like there's some kind of family gathering or some kind of a reconciliation. And if it's not family, then it definitely feels like something connected to your home, or something that's connected to your sense of security here. And I think this is suggesting, I feel like there's something celebratory, a need to calm down, to not worry, and to simply enjoy yourself in something. Okay. The fifth house is Leo energy. And Leo has to do with creativity, with children, with love affairs, and can also have to do with recreation and leisure. You have air with the Six of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, this could be a leisure trip. Air, it does sometimes indicate travel. If you are working on a creative project, air can have, again, something to do with communication. So you could be doing something on social media. And again, Seven of Cups also has to do with social media. So maybe you have a new creative project that's online. Maybe you're starting a podcast, or maybe you're, you're doing something. I mean, blogging, people still do blog. It's not as much of a thing as it used to be. There's a strong writing component to this too, which is why I mentioned that. Anything having to do with communication, writing, speaking, blogging, there could be something like that that's connected to that. And for some of you, this may be a way that you're making money over here with this Seven of Cups. So this might be something new. And you have it with the Six of Cups. So again, there's this past energy here. I feel like for some of you Sages that there's somebody coming around from the past, whether this was a past lover, or whether this is connected to childhood, because this is also the house of children. So this may be a revisiting of a situation either with a past love, or with maybe even a current love, who knows, or with a child. That's another possibility here. Maybe there's going to be some kind of communications that are going on here. So take it as it resonates. This could have to do with a creative project that's connected to communications. This could be a leisure trip, or leisure. I would say leisure trip, and it could be, and again, there's this element of the past, either of childhood, or of somebody who's from, coming back from the past. So, or just a past situation that's coming around again. The fact that you've got the Three of Cups here, and then you've got the Six of Cups here, I do feel like you are revisiting. There's situations where you are that are being revisited. Okay. in some way, either people who are coming back around again. It's funny because it has almost a Mercury retrograde feel. Like, I feel like Six of Cups with air is almost like Mercury retrograde, but it's not Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde ended January 1st, and its post-shadow ended January 20th. So we are not, I mean, Mercury retrograde does come around again at least 3 times a year, but I don't feel like that's an influence now. But what I'm seeing here reminds me of those influences. It's the idea of kind of taking stock and reevaluating something. You know, there may be an opportunity to solve a past problem, or there just may be a revisiting of that. So take it as it resonates. If you don't feel there's any past situations, then it could be that what you're working on, if you're working on a creative project that deals with communication, maybe it's connected to something from your past or something nostalgic. So yeah, again, it's going to be different for everybody, but those are the possibilities, I think, there. 6th house is Virgo energy, and Virgo has to do with health. It has to do with jobs. So if you're working for somebody, it's a house of service. So whatever that means, whether that be working, volunteering, you know, whatever it is. And it can also have to do with worry, and sometimes with domestic animals as well. Okay, so we have the Buckle of Isis with the 6 of Wands. Now, 6 of Wands is a good card to have here because this is about victory. It's about leadership. It's about accomplishing something, okay? And what we have, this is the image on here is from Jason and the Argonauts, the Argonautica, where he is holding up the golden fleece that he has attained. Of course, the thing about this image on this card is that Jason actually doesn't attain the golden fleece. It's actually Medea who helps him attain the golden fleece. But anyway, we won't talk about that. But the 6 of Wands here is definitely the traditional tarot. This is definitely a card of victory. So this could be that something you've been worried about is something that's finally solved. It could be that you have a problem that you are going to approach, you know, you're going to take a leadership approach and you are going to be successful in what you do. This definitely does bring success. This also brings fame or reputation or status or being viewed as a leader. And it's interesting because you have Crook and Flail over here in the 3rd house. So for some of you, this may be connected to a job or business, okay? That maybe you're being recognized for something that you're doing here. Now, we also have this with Buckle of Isis. So yeah, that would definitely support the idea of efforts that you made are being rewarded in some fashion. Now, the other thing about the Buckle of Isis, if this is on the health front, and if this is a woman who's watching this reading, okay, so this is not going to apply to the men, Buckle of Isis could have to do with health issues that are related to hormones or to life changes, okay? This comes up in that, you know, for some people it could mean pregnancy, but I do feel like there's, like, I see this card frequently come up when there are women who I've had as clients who have been dealing with, you know, mysterious health issues that they can't seem to quite pinpoint. It's like, oh, well, I have these headaches, or I have these stomach aches, or I have body aches, or this or that. And, you know, the doctors, you know, what the doctors are doing, they kind of treat symptoms. They don't seem to really help. And really what it comes down to is I say to them, like, well, go see your GYN, because, and then you'll find out that this is, you know, this could be a hormone deficiency or something like that. There's something that's going on there that could be part of a change if you are having problems right now. Now, again, this is a very narrow interpretation. This is obviously not for everybody. And also, again, as I've always say in these readings, I am not a doctor. So this would just be a suggestion. If this is something you're coping with, my advice would be to, if you're a woman, talk to your gynecologist and have a checkup, see what's going on. If you're having certain aches and pains, because it may be connected to certain life changes, and that may be where your relief is. If not, like, generally anybody who's having issues should absolutely see their doctor. But we do seem to have this idea still of a victory here. So yeah, I just feel like whatever may be going on here, this may just simply mean that this is something that can be conquered or can be dealt with. Okay, 7th house. This is Libra energy. This has to do with marriage. It has to do with any kind of legalized partnership. So that can include business relationships and other relationships where maybe there's a contract. If somebody is not married and is thinking about their, interested in their prospects of finding a spouse, then that would also be covered by this house. 9 of Pentacles with water. Okay. So let's start with people maybe who are single and who are looking to be married. This indicates, okay, we have water. We could be dealing with a water sign person. We could be dealing with very strong emotions here in this house. And a water sign person would be Cancer, Let me see, let me go to my thing here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, okay? Those would be the three possibilities, but again, does not have to be a water sign. Could be just somebody with strong water in their chart. Or this could just simply mean a situation that is moving and changeable. You know, there's something here that is not fixed, okay? So we're not talking about a fixed situation here. So if you feel like your love life has been stagnant, between air in the 5th house and water here, this is the good news, is it does suggest movement and change. Now you have it with the 9 of Pentacles. So right now, I mean, I usually interpret this as a card, and I think a lot of people do, of singleness, of basically being, you know, having enough money, being independent, being satisfied. So this is a card of somebody who kind of is self-satisfied. Like 9s usually are things that you're kind of doing on your own rather than in a group. So I feel like, yeah, with this 9 of Pentacles here, you may be single for a long time. Maybe you're single and you're looking for that to change. Okay, that could be what the dynamic that we're looking at here. But nonetheless, or you may just be looking for somebody who you feel is very independent and is, you know, financially independent. Maybe not somebody who's not going to be dependent on you. If you already are married or already in a relationship, there definitely seems to be shifts and changes coming in with some kind of a partnership. And it may actually be saying in certain business partnerships, you might be better off going it alone. You know, because you might want to make a change or change at least where you're a little more financially independent from someone else. So I don't know. In any case, there's something here about shifts and changes. And this has a lot to do with financial independence. And security. I mean, it is a very good card. It's definitely a card of being secure, standing on your own 2 feet. It may be just suggesting that in a relationship situation, either you're a person who stands on their own 2 feet, yeah, and you know, in the face of emotional situations, or maybe it's suggesting that you want to reach that point. The one thing about partnerships is we always have to remember is that it's never our partner's job to make us happy. We have to find it within ourselves, and I feel like there's an element of that. Like, you know, you have 2 people who are kind of independent, doing their own thing and in their own element, working together. That's really the ideal. When you don't want to have a codependent situation. So, yeah. So I feel like this is, it can be connected to a lot of those things, or any one of those things. Okay, so 8th house. This is Scorpio energy. This has to do with transformation. Has to do with other people's money, and a lot of esoteric matters fall under this as well. Okay, we have strength with Sphinx. So right now, I feel like you are in a situation where you are holding back from something. Sphinx indicates something that's secret, and strength indicates, see, this often comes up, this is a very highly ethical card, and when strength comes up, I feel like it's where we may have strong feelings and strong emotions, but we hold them back. Okay, we're not putting it out there. You know what I mean? Where you're holding things back. So yeah. So I don't know. So there's a situation that's going on here where I think you feel like you need to be passive for the time, and you need to wait and see before you act on something. That's what I'm feeling here. That you have the strength and resources, but for some reason, I feel like there's some kind of a struggle here, and that you're feeling like the best thing to do is simply not to step into the fray, not to start a conflict, but rather just to wait and see what's going to happen. So, yeah, and the fact that you've got the 10 of Swords here, this could be connected to that. There could be some situation where you're saying, okay, I'm done engaging with this. So right now, I'm going to wait and see what's next. I'm just going to keep my peace. So, yeah. That's interesting. See if there's any more light shed on that in the rest of the reading. Okay, so 9th house is Sagittarius energy. This is your own energy. This is energy of expansion. Your sign's connected with Jupiter, so this has to do with long distance travel, I should say. Could be long term too, but long distance. This has to do with higher education, educational institutions, religious institutions. As I've said, deeper thought, deeper thinking about the bigger things in life. Are all connected to this house. Also freedom and sometimes legal matters as well. Okay, so you have winged disc with the 2 of Cups. So for some people, you know, there could be some kind of relationship at a distance, a love relationship. It could be or within an educational institution or kind of context. Take it as it resonates, but they're definitely within those things that I mentioned. Either we're talking about taking a long journey, an educational institution, perhaps a religious institution. There seems to be some kind of a partnership here. And whatever this partnership is, I mean, this is something that augurs success. It's a very, very good card. And overcoming obstacles. If we're talking about a house of expanding your horizons, this is definitely a card of doing that. This is the sun shining. Winged Disc is probably the best card in the Cartouche deck. So, and it's usually a card of wishes granted and that sort of thing as well. So, yeah, I feel like there could be somebody here that you're partnering with. This could be a love partnership. Doesn't have to be. Could just be a very close friend, or somebody who you just, there's a lot of, caring about the person, whether it's a love relationship or not. But there's definitely this sense here of either somebody at a distance or somebody maybe who's connected with education, maybe somebody who you're a student of. And when I say this, I mean, I'm talking about adult students. I'm not talking about like children with teachers. There could be somebody who's just mentoring you in something, either spiritually or in terms of education. I don't know, but there definitely seems to be a kind of a partnership here with somebody. Maybe some people work in education and this is part of what they're doing, but whatever it is, there's some kind of partnership here, love or otherwise, that's going to lead to some kind of great success. So you can decide whether this is coming from an educational component, from a spiritual one, or whether this has to do with somebody who's at a distance. But yeah, definitely seems to be a connection there that is going to be important to expanding your horizons, or maybe dealing with your work. 10th house is Capricorn energy. This is about fame, reputation, your career, your legacy, also potentially the father. Okay, so we have Earth with the Fool. Now, Earth is always a good card in this. This is Capricorn, so it's Saturn, and it's also an Earth sign. And when you have the Earth card in an Earth house, this is definitely a good money indicator. So this could be money that's either coming from a legacy, or it could be, well, actually, no. Legacy, I feel like, is more the 8th house. This could be about you maybe trying to leave a legacy, okay? Thinking about your money, thinking about your investments. This could be money that just very money coming in with regard to a career venture or something that you're doing, where there's visibility, whether this is your career or whether this is just something you're doing. Like you remember down here in the 5th house, there's the possibility here with these messages and so forth with air, that maybe if you're working on some kind of a project or something, maybe there's a chance that you're going to get attention for that and that's going to yield some money. The Fool would indicate taking a risk, placing your trust in something, okay? Maybe you're trusting that something you're going to do is going to make money, okay? Especially because we have the 7 of Cups down here. It may be that something that you are doing financially, some people might think of as being a kind of a pipe dream. Maybe they think you're being foolish. But this does seem to assure that whatever you're moving towards is going to actually make you money, or at least is going to provide a sense of security. However, the other thing that Earth does indicate is something that's slow and steady. So it could be that you are, you have taken a risk. Maybe you're looking for very quick results. Maybe that's why it feels illusory, but this could be something that's going to take some time to build. So yeah, so either way, it does seem like there's going to be a financial payoff to something in the long run. Okay, so 11th house, Aquarius energy. This has to do with with friendships, with your social networks, business networks, also with your goals, your wishes, your destiny, what you're trying to manifest. Okay, so you have Urias with the 5 of Wands. Now, this is interesting. When Urias shows up here, there's some need, if you are working towards something, there may be a need to keep it to yourself, because the 5 of Wands can indicate conflict, competition, or quarrels, maybe outside influence that is kind of a meddling influence. Maybe there's somebody in your friend group who is, misrepresenting something or leading you in the wrong direction. Maybe somebody, because Urias can sometimes have to do with people maybe who don't always have your best interests at heart, although Urias also indicates you'll be able to spot it and you will be successful in overcoming that. But nonetheless, it's funny because I had Sphinx in the 8th house, this idea of holding back or being secret about something, and Urias is appearing here. So this could have to do with a friend or a friend situation, or just somebody who is in your network, or this could be just saying that there is something to hold, that you are for some reason, there may be a reason for you to keep something secret because there may be competition. This also jumps into my head, and this may be specific for some people. If you think that there's going to be a liaison with a friend, I mean, we're seeing this Two of Cups over here. This could be a business partner, or it could be somebody else. If you think that there's a budding love relationship there, this may be saying keep that to yourself, because you may be running into some kind of competition or some kind of interference that you don't need. Okay? But either way, regardless of what it has to do with, if there's anything about any of your interactions with either people in your network or your friend group that you're not sure about, this would be saying keep your own counsel. And if you, like I said, and if you are working towards something that is meaningful to you and you're not sure that everybody has your back, like I said, some people may be looking at you as foolish for doing something over here, or may think that you're being delusional over here, then I feel like it's something you need to work towards quietly, because you may not have the support for something right now that you think is important. You may have people who are going to create a kind of a struggle in the kind of work that you're doing, or these could be people who are in competition, because to me, Five of Wands is more about competing. So yeah, interesting there. You can take that as it resonates. 12th house, Pisces energy. Pisces is about what's hidden, what we are afraid of, maybe what we are repressing. Interesting. Okay, Ankh with the Ace of Pentacles. So this indicates a new beginning financially, usually. I mean, Ace of Pentacles can be just a new sense of security. And Ankh is definitely, it's a good card that has to do with, in the 8th and 12th houses, 6th, 8th, and 12th houses, I feel like it has to do with life and with the length of life. So maybe there's, there may be some people who have a fear about life. Maybe they're thinking like, oh, how much time do I have left? Especially if it's somebody older. Maybe there's an element of, of fear about that. Or there may be a fear of starting over with something because maybe you're thinking about mortality. Because I feel like Ankh when it comes up. And by the way, that doesn't mean that there's any kind of an issue. This is just a fear. This may be about if you're trying to reevaluate, if you're thinking about taking a risk and doing something new, especially if you are in the later years of life, you may be saying like, well, geez, am I even gonna be able to do this? Do I have the energy to do this? Do I have the stamina to do this? Am I going to have the drive? Am I too old to do this? For some people, again, obviously, if you're under, I don't even want to say under 35, because to me, in your 40s, people still have plenty of energy. It's probably even older than that. But if you're younger than that, maybe that's a non-issue. Then what this might represent is there may be a chance here to go after your dreams and to start something new. But maybe there's a fear about that. Sometimes even when we get what we want, we're still fearful. It's almost, again, like the Seven of Cups. We almost believe like maybe something's too good to be true. But I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like that's more of a fear. And I think anybody who may be telling you, I feel like there's somebody here who's about to take a big risk, about to do something big. And that they're going to achieve what they want to achieve. But I have a feeling the people in the environment may not believe in what they're doing. And so I think it's saying, because then people are going to see this as, oh, you're being foolish with your money, you're taking a risk, you're doing this, you're doing that. And this is saying, no, this is absolutely the thing you need to be doing. Let me see what I can see numerologically here before I get to the center cards. We have Strength with this card, which is card 8. You have a couple of 6s. You have a couple of 7s. You have another 8 over here. You have a couple of 4s. Let me see. 6s, yeah, you've got 3 that I can see so far. You've got 1 10. You got another 4 in the center here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see an overabundance of one particular number here. Actually, they all seem to be evenly represented. So, yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes there's messages in the numbers, and I don't necessarily pick that out strongly here this time. Okay, overall, yeah, you have Anubis. So Anubis indicates navigating your way through difficult situations, being protected. Maybe you are being protective right now of yourself and your interests, and that would make sense if you feel like you have people around you, maybe who don't have as much faith in what you're doing. So there's this sense of needing to, protect yourself. But this is also about being diplomatic with people, and this is also about having a sense of humor. So Anubis is a very good card. It's the guide, it's the protector when we're going through and we're making changes, perhaps that you know, it's testing your own faith in yourself, because this apparently is a departure from something you've done before with the Ten of Swords. And this may be bringing about some other changes, but it does feel like it's, you know, whatever change you're trying to make here, that this is a good one. Now you have it Four of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. So Four of Wands, yeah, the Four of Wands is, now this is, again, this is a scene from the Argonautica, which is what the wand suit is in the Mythic Tarot. But I usually it's usually a gateway where you have almost an 11-11, where you have the two wands. So I always feel like Four of Wands, there's that level of accomplishment, just like we have with the Six of Wands, but it's like you've reached an initial stage of something and you're passing through the gates and you're moving on to something new. But you are moving on to the Knight of Pentacles, though. So the Knight of Pentacles would indicate slow and steady progress. It's not going to be the kind of thing where you are, where you're going to be, where something's going to happen really, really fast. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of speed here in things. I'm not seeing like the Eight of Wands. I mean, we do have cards of change in the 5th and 7th house. So something with relationship dynamics, or maybe creative relationships, could be love relationships, but could be that there seems like there could be some shifts and changes there. But overall, I feel like it's like you are adjusting to some new kind of a situation here. And Knight of Pentacles I think both of these would be advising, like, you know, establish stability, feel secure in where you're at, and just move at your own pace. If you're making a big change and you're feeling like you don't want to move that fast, then figure out what pace works for you here. Let's see. Let's do the Moonology deck. And let's see what comes up for you here as your overall. This reading is a bit longer than I usually do, but let's see what we got for you today. You know, certain messages come up, I just got to go with what I'm seeing. So Sagittarius for the week of February 13th through 19th. Give me one card, please. Waiting for a flip. Nope. I got a couple of them now. Aha, okay. We've actually got 3. So, all right, so you have a time to give rather than take, the new moon in Virgo. You have the void of course moon, nothing will come of this situation. Okay, so what this says to me right off, I think if you're holding back on a particular situation, we do have a Four of Pentacles over here, because maybe you're worried about people's reaction. I feel like this is a good card. Nothing will come of this situation may mean that you are worried about a certain outcome. Yeah, you've got this Ten of Swords here. And maybe the worst that you're expecting is not going to happen. That's what I kind of feel when I see this card come up. Or there just may be a situation where you just kind of need, you need to wait right now and just see where things are going. And for right now, I mean, this is, again, time to give rather than take. We do have that Buckle of Isis. This is Virgo, in the house of Virgo. So the idea is that your efforts that you're making for others are going to be rewarded. But most importantly, you have the North Node, which is step out of your comfort zone. So you have some situation. I feel like doubts and worries that you may have about moving forward. Nothing's going to come of that. It's time to step out of your comfort zone. Don't let those kind of fears hold you back. So that's it for you this week, Sagittarius. I hope that this reading was helpful. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you choose, and then do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of these videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.